Hey guys, it's Will Fleming for the IYCA and Force Fitness here in Bloomington, Indiana. Just coming to you today, kind of a couple years later, talking about the product that I put together with the IYCA and Coach Doe's called Power Evolution, and just reflecting back on it. I was actually writing some programs the other day, dug into Power Evolution to find some alternative movements that we don't normally use, just to make sure my movement menu is up to date and refreshed. And I found some really cool things that I liked out of Power Evolution that I thought I could share with you. And the number one thing that I found out of that was just some of the focus that we paid on Olympic lift derivatives. So not necessarily a power clean or power snatch or full clean or full snatch, but just some of those derivatives that we used in Power Evolution that I think I've lost touch with and I think are really valuable things to add to your program. Maybe because of their simplicity, but also their effectiveness, certainly. So the first one is just the pulls, right? So using clean pulls and snatch pulls as a way to develop power without having to go into the impact portion of Olympic lifts. And certainly if you ask me about the benefits of the Olympic lifts, I would say that quadruple extension, that hip knee extension type stuff that goes on at the finish of the movement would be one big part of it. But the second part that I really like is the force absorption, the receiving the bar. So when an athlete has to catch a clean or catch a snatch, that receiving of the bar is landing. It's deceleration mechanics. It's stuff that's really, really effective and helpful. But at certain times of the year, particularly in-season times for contact athletes, that receiving stress is actually going to be greater than the pulling stress, and with all the contacts that maybe they're having on a football practice or football game or in basketball practice, basketball game, that maybe doing the actual Olympic lifts are a little bit too much stress. So the derivative that I really liked was just seeing a lot of the pulls that we were using, and I just wanted to go through those to refresh us, maybe update a little bit about some of the stuff that's in Power Evolution. But our first one would be just a snatch pull, so using a snatch grip, getting a good low start position, hips down, eyes up, sweeping the bar until it's on the thigh, and then finishing with a tall extension, right? One thing that I always want to stress in that movement is a tall extension, not a back extension, right? We want to get hips and knees to extend explosively, not just hips, okay? So make sure that that extension, whether from the hang or from the ground, always finishes with a tall extension. Really good focus idea to think about is getting the athlete to focus their vision straight ahead from the start all the way through the finish, so they get that full tall extension. That's going to give us our most knee and hip extension. That's also a move that we can load up pretty heavily, to 100% of their max or something like that, and do that for a couple reps. So really, really good movement to do effectively to create some stress in the body, but not create a bunch of impact, okay? So that's one that I really liked. And the second one that I saw that I really, really liked, that we haven't been using as much, but I think is going to come back in, is the muscle snatch from a clean grip, okay? And so a couple reasons we would really like a muscle snatch from a clean grip. Muscle snatch, just all pull, we could do it with a snatch grip, but a muscle snatch with a snatch grip, or with a clean grip, is going to be a longer pull. Probably more power is going to need to be produced to get the bar overhead. Really, again, a low impact exercise, and using a clean grip is going to be less demanding on the shoulders for those that you might not want to have take a bar overhead in this abducted or adducted and extended position. So here is going to be a little bit better position. So muscle snatch, again, if we're going to start it from the knee, right, we want to have feet flat, shins vertical, bar against the thigh, and we're going to hinge to get down there. So don't let your athlete squat to get down there. Hinge to get down there, pull along the thigh, keep it close. Big pull all the way up, okay? So that long pull is going to be a big power producer. Big time power is going to be produced. It's going to be a little safer, more comfortable shoulder position overhead. So again, another one that I've lost a little bit of touch with, but when reviewing Power Evolution, really said, man, I got to get that back in my program. So the clean pull, snatch pull combinations that we used early, it's going to reduce impact, going to be a great in-season tool for high power, high strength movements. Clean grip, muscle snatch, going to be another low impact, safer shoulder position, long pull, a lot of power exercise. Two of my favorites from Power Evolution from the IYCA, and Robert does from Medios and myself. So check them out. If you haven't seen Power Evolution, make sure you check that out too.